It's like way too open on the exteriors and way too cluttered on the interiors and chaotic in the interiors, and it's so open around the outside, and with the streaks and the strength of the snipers and all that shit, people pretty much just like camp the buildings, and that's how every map with buildings is going to be like in this mode. And people are just going to camp the buildings, because going outside with the vehicles as well, and all the kill streaks and the snipers and all that shit, and all the angles you can get to, the fact that you can fly in a helicopter, get on any roof, pretty much break the map. It's just too risky to go outside. So you see people getting in the buildings, they don't leave the buildings. It's a building camping mode. And it's just, there's no like team play to it. They do have like a Battlefield-esque squad system. You can get a squad 4 players. But there's none of the team play that makes squad play interesting in Battlefield. All that comes down to the squad play in this is that you can respawn on each other. That is it. You know, in Battlefield there's like the class system, and so you stick with your squad so that you can heal them, so that you can give them ammo, so that you can revive them, so that you can take out tanks with them, so that you can help spot enemies with them. There's none of that. It's just the respawn. That is it. Like that's what the squad's there for in this. So it's missing all those like key features of Battlefield that make Battlefield interesting. I don't think that this type of gameplay is as interesting without those features. So squad gameplay, you pretty much just go off on your own. There's like no squad gameplay. Even if I was playing with friends, you just split up. It's not like Battlefield where when you play Battlefield, you kind of just like naturally try to stick with your squad. That's just, the game's really good at doing that. That is a really good strength of like any Battlefield game. That is not the case here in Ground War. The vehicles are arcadey and annoying, terribly balanced, don't feel great. If you think that this is competitive with Battlefield vehicles, I don't even like Battlefield vehicles, to be honest with you. You just haven't. I just think you're ignorant, to be honest. I don't know how you could make that. I don't know how you could have played Battlefield, have used those vehicles, then use these COD vehicles and prefer them. I just don't understand. Just the control of it in Battlefield feels like that perfect, because I've been talking about that balance, feels like that perfect balance of like realism and arcade, whereas the COD vehicles just feel like a kill streak, I guess, and that's annoying. And kill streaks are way, way, way too common in Ground War, and they just completely ruin the mode. I think that my overall reaction to Ground War would be 10 times more positive. I'm like not even bullshitting if there weren't kill streaks. The kill streaks are that big of an issue. There's UAVs popping every 2 seconds. You know, whenever someone gets a cruise missile, it's like a guaranteed double, triple at least. You know, the big kill streaks like the chopper gunner are just like ridiculously annoying. You can get a fucking nuke in this mode. I don't know, man. It's just annoying. It's just annoying. Like, that's what it is. The most annoyed that I've been playing the beta genuinely was Ground War. I don't understand. I must have just been missing something, because I saw a lot of people really enjoying it and really being able to put the time in it, and I must have just missed something, because again, like comparing it to other games, I would rather play Halo Big Team Battle, I would rather play Battlefield. I genuinely did not find any redeeming qualities. Okay, that's I'm exaggerating a little bit. If you prefer this game's movement and you prefer this game's gunplay, that is the redeeming quality. Other than that, like, that's it. So if you don't feel too strongly about the movement and the gunplay in this game, like versus Battlefield, there's gonna be, or again, like Halo Big Team Battle, whatever you want to, or you know, Warzone, whatever you want to compare it to, the most apt comparison being Battlefield. If that's like not your thing, if you're not too crazy about that, if you're not too critical of it, then there's just no redeeming quality. You might as, if you wanted this experience, go buy Battlefield. Because I know I've seen a lot of tweets and opinions and shit like that and stuff that is annoying to me from COD players, and you know, I kind of expected this, saying like, wow, this is a big major hit to Battlefield, like this is like a Battlefield killer, and those people have not. I'm just going to go out and make a completely ignorant, like Trump-esque statement here, because I genuinely believe that it is true. I think that all of those people saying that, I think that they have not touched a Battlefield game. It's one of these few things. They either have not touched a Battlefield game, they have not played more than like 2 hours of the recent Battlefield game, they have not played a Battlefield game since like 3 or 4. It's like one of those, or again, well, yeah, I already said, like, haven't touched it all. It's like one of those options. So I just think that it's coming from a stance of ignorance for like most of these people, and yeah, I don't think it's that great. And then again, like if I say that, I'll get criticized like, oh, but for a first try, it's really good. It's like, it's not though. Like it's not. You know, I would say that it was a really good first try if it was competitive. It's not competitive. It's not even on the map for me. I don't give a fuck about it. Like, I bought this game for COD. I don't give a shit about the 2v2. I'm really just letting it out at this point. I don't give a shit about the 2v2. I don't give a shit about the ground war. I don't give a shit about any of that. I buy COD for like 6v6 arcade multiplayer. That is what I want. I don't want any of this other content. It's just taking away from that experience, which is the main experience of COD. That's why most people buy the game. That's what I want to play the game. That's what I want to play. That's what I want to see as content for that. Woo! That was the most honesty I got out in the whole video. I've been waiting to say that. Again, like I think it's great that COD has these things for like these people, but again, it's just frustrating to me that why did it just freak me out? It's just frustrating to me that we have this game where it feels fresh. Like, right, COD hasn't felt fresh in a long time. We have this game that feels fresh, and it could be like a great classic COD experience. But on top of that, and on top of this, like, oh, this is gonna be like that classic COD game for like that crowd. They also have all this shit that's trying to appeal. They're trying to like appeal to every crowd in this game, and a game, because I was talking about Battlefield. Like Battlefield 5 is a game that tried to do that. They tried to like focus on take like too many crowds and like do too much, and it ended up detracting from the best part of Battlefield, like that main core Battlefield multiplayer experience. And I have a feeling that might happen with this game, that they're just trying to take from too many crowds, when in reality, if they just like put all of that focus, you know, instead of it being like, oh, 30 maps at launch, 10 of them are going to be 10 of them are going to be 2v2 maps, 5 of them are going to be ground war maps, there's going to be 15 6v6 maps. I just made up those numbers. I don't know if those are true. I have to see what the actual numbers are. I don't know if they're out yet. But, you know, instead of like a scenario like that, imagine if this game was launching. And it was like, wow, look at this. We have this fresh game, this fresh engine. You know, it feels new to you guys. It feels like new content. And on top of that, bam, 30 fucking maps. 6v6, 30 6v6 maps. You've got like 10 TDM maps, like a few headquarters maps, like some S&D maps, like maps made for specific modes of 6v6. Like that would be sick. I would be so fucking excited. But instead, we get all this content for modes that, again, I don't find as competitive with their contemporaries, with their counterparts, with their competition, and it's just not gonna last. It's just not gonna last. Yeah, I don't know. Again, that's coming from my standpoint. There are people that are going to play those modes, but from a classic COD player's perspective, or from a longtime COD player's perspective, it's not what I wanted. And I don't hold... Even after the beta, it hasn't improved my opinion or my interest on it. Woo! Really had to get that one out. Okay, so there we go. I think we're good now. I think we're good from that, like, the rant portion of this. I got, like, the rant portion out of me. I feel like I've done enough negativity. Even then, I feel like I haven't been that negative compared to what I've seen in this game. I have not been that negative. It's more so been passionate. I don't think I've been like negative or anything like that so far. It's been like passionate. I don't know. It's a difference. But anyways, so like to continue it. Again. But I'll try to get like some more positivity in here. So, positive things I want to say. The field upgrades. I think the field upgrades are great. I really do. I wasn't sure. I didn't really put too much thought into the field upgrades. I think a lot of people didn't. If I have one quick criticism, and again, this is coming from something that I think is positive, and I want to like just make it better, is that the field upgrades are kind of. There are a lot of people that I played with that did not know that field upgrades were a thing and didn't know how to use them or when they should call them in. So I don't know if they should like try to improve the UI on that, or like the alerts in game on that in some way, because that's just something that I noticed a lot of people that I played with were just not aware when they had their field upgrades and stuff like that, and I had to tell them about it, and that just seemed to be a common thing. So maybe the developers can improve on that a little bit. But overall, I think that the field upgrades are a great alternative to like the specialist system that I feel like they've been working on in COD for like how long. Every COD's had like some form of that. I think that the field upgrades are my favorite iteration of it. Basically what it is it, you know, you call it in, it's a thing that like charges up over the course of the map, and you call it in when it's ready, and it works like the specialist in any other COD in that way, but there's just so much less obtrusive. Like, for example, one of them is just like a deployable thing of cover. That's it. That's all it is. You know, it's like Torque's barricade without like the Guardian effect is what it's like. And you can like hop over it, so it doesn't have like that whole movement aspect to it. One of them is just an ammo box. You just throw it down and you can go over it, resupplies yourself, resupplies teammates. Great, awesome. One of them is just like a little recon drone you can pull out and like explore the map. Like, cool, all right, sweet. Like this stuff is fine. I think it's fine. It's not as bad as Specialist. It's a really good alternative. So good job on Infinity Ward for that. Like, you solved a really big issue, especially with Black Ops 4. So that's awesome. That's great. There are certain ones like Dead Silence and Stopping Power that I would like to see. You know, if Dead Silence is going to be in the game, I would like to see it be a perk, and Stopping Power, with how fast the time to kill in this game, I just completely disagree with Stopping Power's inclusion. I hope that it's removed as a field upgrade, because it could Stopping Power alone could ruin my opinion on the field upgrades. It could be that game breaking. I genuinely believe that. And even though, like, when I used it, you only get it like twice a game, it wasn't that annoying on all guns. There were some guns where it was definitely broken, but it wasn't like the worst thing in the world. Again, with how fast the time to kill, like, the game just doesn't need it. The game just doesn't need it. So again, like, that's my other criticism of the field upgrades from the ones that I've looked. Dead Silence should probably just be a perk, and Stopping Power should just be removed entirely. But like, as a whole, the concept and the execution overall in the field upgrades is good, and I think it's a really positive part of the game for me. Okay, so more positive stuff, and I will get, again, there'll be like some criticisms here and there, but in general, kind of similar to the field upgrades here, the perks I think are like pretty well balanced. They have like different play styles, different uses, and in the perk 1 and the perk 3 categories, I can see there being like some variety on different types of players and like what play style they're going for. And you know, maybe it won't like be like Black Ops 4 this year, where everybody pretty much ran, well, at least like Gung Ho and Dead Silence. You know, the perk 1 category had a little bit of variety in Black Ops 4, but like perk 2 and 3 were pretty much all Gung Ho, Dead Silence, and in competitive it was like Dexterity. You know, there was those like crutch perks. This year I could see there being like a little bit more variety, except for one perk, because I haven't brought this up yet. It needs to be brought up because it is potentially the biggest issue of the game so far. So if you played Black Ops 1, I know a lot of my people have played Black Ops 1, you remember how much of an issue Ghost was in that game. Ghost was arguably one of the biggest issues in that game. It was just like the worst perk, made it campy, slow, and annoying, and UAVs like useless. There's no perk that could compete with it. You just had to run Ghost. Ghost is back in this game, and it's not the balanced Ghost that we've seen in recent Call of Duties, where you have to like move for it to be working. It's not that balanced version of Ghost. It is old OG Black Ops 1 Ghost, and I am not at all excited about that. I don't get it. It's such a step back. No one was complaining about like the newer versions of Ghost, and honestly, if they did, fuck them. That's a bad opinion. I'm sorry, like some stuff you have to be like polarizing. Like I have to take I can be understanding of certain views. Some views I have to take stances on. If you support like original like Black Ops 1 Ghost, like the Ghost in this game, I can't fucking agree with you on that. Like there's no redeeming value to that in my opinion. We can debate on like how the Ghost perk should be balanced, but like that extreme is bullshit. And I think everybody should at least agree upon that from a game balance perspective. So I'll be closed-minded on that one. I'm okay with that. Anyways, it's just, there's so many factors that factor into like the campy nature of this game. And Ghost is one of the biggest ones. You can put on Ghost, you can be completely off radar, because there's no red dots in this game on the minimap. So you don't even need to run a suppressor, you just run like, you know, it's Ghost Suppressor in Black Ops 1. This game you don't even need the suppressor, it's just Ghost. And you're just like, you are a Ghost. You're just off the radar. You can camp wherever you want. People just can't find you. It's not like, they don't have, and this is a mechanic that I've wanted to see from games in a while, is like if you just don't move for like 2 to 3 seconds, something like that, it'll make like a noise or something, so there can be an indicator of that. I always thought that would be a cool thing in games to like kind of counter like just camping, but unfortunately no game has done anything like that. And And so yeah, with that, you can just like camp however you want with Ghost, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that the other player could do about it. It increases the campiness, and it's really frustrating, and that should be rebalanced. So yeah, so like the perks overall, I think are pretty decent. It's just like that Ghost perk is like the biggest issue. Let's talk about the Gunsmith. So like the whole customization and stuff. I think the customization is, I think this new system that they got, like it's pretty cool, and I think that there's definitely like a certain crowd that it's really gonna appeal to. I think there's like a certain, I don't know, like a gun nut crowd or people that are into games like Rust and shit like that are really gonna enjoy this system. But I do have some, and overall I like the concept of it, and I like that it's something new, and overall I think that it's cool, and I think it's a good step in the right direction. But I do have some critiques of it, as with everything. And again, like, I don't know if I stated this in this video, but it's a fucking beta. The point of the beta is to give your feedback so the developers can tune the game. So I'm giving it all, you know, positive or negative, it's all out there. Do have some critiques of it. For one, I would like to see them include, for the first time ever, like the actual numbers. Okay, so the way it works is like with the different guns, it says like pros and cons. It'll say like, oh, you know, you put this attachment on, it